Happy Monday. On your screen, you have that which makes your microwave work. Well, it's a magnetron. I know I've covered this in my lives quite a bit, especially of this last few months where we were digging around in Michigan, finding these massive monoliths that shouldn't be there. And then upon further observation, found that no matter what stone was around there, all these precious stones and huge monolithic single freaking beautiful crystal statues were all had one thing in common. None of them had any air pockets, no geode structures whatsoever, and no parent rock, and a very distinct flower pattern, just like what you're looking at there. Let's see if I can bring this onto my camera so you can see what I'm looking at. Now, I do hope it's covering this, because you can see the flower pattern in the blue jade. This one is also blue jade with the same flower pattern in it. This is not blue jade. This is found in Arizona, and it has the same flower patterns in it. This one also is not blue jade, but it has the same flower patterns in its matrix. Because while we were digging up the monolithic one, that these were around, we found a huge pit of sand underneath the big one. You see the plumes on this puppy, and they matched on the big monolithic one in the hole. So I was kind of standing on this thing all mad one day. What the fuck are they trying to hide? Dumbass. So 3 foot under this, there was a pit of pure silica. It was pure silica. I've been blowing glass for 30 years. I know pure silica when I look at it. And it had calcium carbonate in it. And the legends tell us very clearly that mercury is the magic water, and the gods, or Anunnaki, aka Anunnaki, this comes right out of the Hindu texts and some of the Mayan shit too, about the gods pouring the magic water in the mix and making the temples hard like stone. Well, you know what? I followed the legend to the holes and Creator's guidance. Creator blew off our fucking hood to find this snake head that matches this one very clearly, with the same trinitite yellow explosion glass on it, as well as the plume that was beside it. It was 1,200 miles away from the impact site that this big head took. You can see the eyeball on that, and all the plume, the same plume. And the trinitite. No, I haven't cleaned it. But it's got the same flower pattern in it, too. You can see that. It was liquid at one time, and they shot it with a magnetron. These are piezoelectric materials. We can build our foundations on this shit, just like we build on concrete. I mean, it's the most abundant thing on the planet. And they had molded hundreds of these to stroke for stroke match the megalith in the hole. And some of the effigies, hundreds of them, this size, and bigger, smaller. That's planet heaven. That's your eye that represents the blue sun. And planet Earth is over here, the Ankh, on the blue sun. You can see the same blue sun. It repeats. Dink, dink. And there's also one on one of the teeth over here, if you turn it right. it's a really the natives were using these for their morphing effigies. But we know these outdate Egypt by tens of thousands of years, um, and they bear the markings of Egyptian kings over here in Michigan. We know they weren't making these somewhere else and carrying them to the middle of Michigan in their medicine bags, because there's several of these at the small temple that we were digging at that are 10, 12 fucking tons each. There's been a lot of research actually went into how they made these things. Now we know how they made these things. Again, now I've detailed my findings. And yeah, that's some snake skin like a motherfucker. We're looking at turtles now. Here in Texas. Those things fucking light up, change colors, and all kinds of disco shit. They really worked hard on the turtles. These were cast into a mold. These came from the lost temple of Thoth. Thoth the Atlantean. You know that guy? It's the only temple that could be where we found these things. And if you don't know, go to my fucking video, hit oldest first, and start learning. So I'm not gonna sit here and be asked a whole bunch of questions that have already been answered. Have a beautiful, beautiful Monday.